Hello everybody, I am Mike from the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike podcast, and I am back with another reaction to a classic era episode of Doctor Who. I'm a lifelong Star Trek and Star Wars fan watching this franchise for the first time, so we have reached the second episode of the Reign of Terror serial, namely the episode The Guests of Madame Guillotine. So what will I think of this second part of this historical time travel serial? And we'll jump straight in. Just want to quickly remind you to please check out the other content on this channel, including the audio podcast, The Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike, that I do with my lovely lady wife, where we go back and watch some classic TV franchises that in those cases we have already seen, as the name suggests. And also check out all of the other content on this channel, including music, live performance reactions, and other bits and pieces of pop cultural goodness. And also would remind you that I appreciate feedback, which you can leave in the form of just comments on this channel. It's been really awesome learning a lot about the history of this venerable franchise that I am extremely ignorant to, although I'm starting to learn a little bit more thanks to the generosity of Whovians in the comments. So please continue to do that. Or alternatively, you can email me at rewatchprojectpodcast@gmail.com. But without further ado, let's get into this, the second episode of the Reign of Terror serial, The Guests of Madame Guillotine. Oh yes, the slowest house fire in history is occurring, isn't it? Back after a very classic, almost Buster Crab-esque cliffhanger here. I was terrified by the idea of the guillotine when I was a kid. Still am, as an adult, truth be told.
I am satisfied as to your guilt as being in the company of wanted traitors.
Justice moved swiftly back then. I look at Ian looking all heroic. My man.
Sentence, immediate execution.
Dear.
Take them to the cells.
Very guillotine Randy back then, weren't they? Great costuming in this episode, in this serial, again, I should mention. Look at that face. Great faces back then, weren't there? Before everybody was attractive and boring looking.
Stay back by the wall.
And young.
Ian!
Go away, keep Oliver, can't you? Lady like you shouldn't be kept in this pigsty. Of course, I have the keys. It wouldn't be very difficult to leave a few doors open now, would it?
No, of course not.
This is another instance of very predatory behaviour in a children's show. Different time.
But I couldn't pay you. I don't have any money.
The soldiers in this place are nothing but peasants, friends.
Yeah, you tell
You'll
him.
regret that for my special guest.
Ooh. He's a wrong one.
Yes, it reminds me of when we were prisoners before, in the prehistoric age. Oh, yes.
Again with these callbacks. I love the fact she has to narrow it down as well. She's like, it reminds me of when we were prisoners before, in the prehistoric age, because of course we have been prisoners in many ages up until this point.
Yes, I remember that. But there was one very important difference. Grandfather and Ian were with us then. I wish I could see
Strong
where
men.
we were.
Rescued by the urchin. I remember growing up, the figure of the urchin was much more prevalent in popular culture, you know, like the Prince and the Pauper and, you know, Oliver Twist and, you know, even Annie. And it seems to have disappeared from pop culture.
You'll be captured, sent to the guillotine.
You saved me, my boy, so I must rescue them. Now you can understand that, can't you? Hmm?
He's definitely become more honourable and less purely self-serving, hasn't he, with his journeys with his companions. You know, they've changed each other.
Yes. I wish I could come with you, but Since my father was taken away, he told me to look after my mother.
Yes. Now you're the head of the house. Yes.
It's mad to think that kid's probably in his mid-70s now. You know, it's wild how long ago this was.
Well, oh, thank you. Thank you for everything.
Nice to see the doctor outside. You know, for real.
I'll never get out of this dreadful place.
Oh, you mustn't lose heart, Susan.
I'm not going to fool myself.
Well, think of the times we've been in trouble before. Always managed to get out of it in the end.
Oh, we're lucky. You can't go on being lucky. Things catch up with you.
There's a lot of reflection in the last episode, isn't there? A lot of taking stock of where they are in their journey and their relationships. And, you know, that's quite sophisticated for, you know, a medium that was very episodic at the time and very gratifying to see as a modern TV viewer going back and watching this for the first time.
Never heard you talk like this before. You're usually so optimistic.
Growing up.
Want to know about grandfather?
Did you notice that we came past the river to get here?
You're not going to dig your way out, are you?
Oh, why not?
It's solid stone.
Hey, there's a damp patch in the wall here. Maybe a sewer leading to the river.
Yes, all you need are a couple of dozen drills.
Educational stuff coming back in.
Might get out.
You've lost a lot of blood.
As soon as we were arrested, we couldn't wait to pull the trigger.
Ian looks cool in that shirt.
Here's James Sterling. Find James Sterling and tell him to get back to England. He has important information. I understand. And I promise.
Ian keeps his promises as well, so this is where the story's going. And he's dead.
You can work faster than that.
A lot of swarthiness
Okay.
in these time travel
Okay, sir.
episodes.
Yes, it is. I wonder if you can assist me. I'm bound for Paris. Well, if you were to expend your energy helping with the road instead of bawling and shouting at them every few seconds, you might be able to get somewhere.
He's just got no decorum, has he? I mean, he's right, you know, and he speaks his mind, and that's great, but there's just no compromise. There's no reading the room with this guy at all, and I love that.
Good day to you, sir.
Good day, sir.
I suppose you think you're very clever.
Well, without any undue modesty, yes. Now, would you mind standing aside?
Remember, I've got this.
Oh, that escalated.
Common fellow.
Well, what are you waiting for? Get to work.
Common fellow.
I'll complete that schedule yet.
I wonder what Ian's doing. Barbara, I think I'll work. Takes my
They're all
brain
having a
off
really
things.
bad day, aren't they?
Oh! We'll rest.
See?
I can't do it, Barbara.
We'll start again later.
In Chesterton.
Have the body removed from the cell.
Yes, citizen. Guards!
It is amazing to consider, of course, you know, the limitations of space that they had. How much of the storytelling is done in a small frame? I mean, if you look at that shot, there was a very small camera movement, but really the conversation, the one guy going off, the other soldiers coming in, there was such economy in the way that the storytelling had to be told by depth, not width of movement. And it's really easy to take that for granted, but there's such skill there that they actually managed to do visual storytelling that doesn't just feel like radio with images or theatre with such economy.
What is it? Rats! Rats! He must have smelt the food. Barbara, there's rats down there.
It's a way out, though.
We won't do any more digging. We'll just stay where we are.
France sucked.
Yes, you've heard about it, haven't you?
Yes, I've heard.
It's quite a phenomenon, isn't it? Yes. Look at the coin.
Here's another.
Catch a spade. Start this.
Stand back! It's nothing to do with you, nothing. I'll do the digging, and then it'll be mine. Now stand back.
What a character. He's doing what needs to be done. Look how happy he is. Fun little side adventure there for the doc. I'll take his gun.
Good day to you, sir. Pleasant dreams. Here.
What an image. Very fun, playful tone to this episode in places, amongst all the forced labour and predatory behaviour, of course. Very much got a tone of its own. Very different.
Dispatch for the guillotine. Take them away.
There has to be a guillotine cliffhanger. I mean, you can't not use that dramatic device in that way, I would imagine.
Barbara. Susan.
I really enjoyed that episode. It's funny, it's a bit weird tonally, because you've got, like I say, the lightness and I guess frivolity of the Doc's little side quest. But there's also a kind of grimness to it because of just how, if you're going to do time travel, a lot of history was awful. It was grim. It was ridden with disease and squalor and murder and persecution and terrible, terrible behavior. And it's good to see that really just the predicament that they're in is really just where in history they are. And that's interesting. And all of the characters had good stuff to do. And there was also a little bit more of that reflecting on the history now, the collective history that they've got as characters and as a group, and with us as the audience as well. So, yeah, I really enjoyed that. And I'm looking forward to the next part, a Change of Identity, part 3 of the Reign of Terror serial. So, look forward to reading the comments for this episode. Also, email at rewatchprojectpodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike, the audio podcast that shares this feed, as well as the film, TV, music, and pop culture commentary, reviews, reactions, and all that good stuff that's on that channel. But until next time, I'll see you soon.